CNN, and this CNN is actually feeding a transformer-based encoder and decoder architecture to output the given text based on the topic modeling of the vocabulary that we have done. Next. The multi-scale feature that we are extracting, we are using Res2Net, using this residual blocks over here located. These residual blocks actually combine the channel-wise information at different scale and then output a feature vector that is a collective representation of different salient objects that are available at different scales. And using this feature vector from the visual encoder, next kijiyega. The transformer encoder further refines these visual features, and the adaptive encoder, based on the multi-scale input that it is getting from the visual encoder, then generates the output probabilities of the words that are describing that image. Next. We carried out the evaluation of our model on 3 data sets that are available on remote sensing image captioning data set, UCM and Sydney. Each one has around 10K, 2K and 613 images that have been captioned by humans. And we use this data set to carry out the evaluation of our model on the machine. The training was carried out for 48 hours, and we used the early stopping technique to stop the training of the model. Next, kijiyega. So on the screen, you can see the comparison of the model that we have proposed with the state-of-the-art that's already available. For example, over here, you can see an image of a canal. So the ground truth is that the yacht is sailing in the river with the small houses in it. And the proposed model generates a curved river in between the green fields. So we can see that the model is identifying the curved river and the fields that are located at the different scale. Over here, you can see that the model is able to pick up the white storage tanks that are near some trees. So we are picking up information at different scales and then converting this whole image into its equivalent textual description. Next. These are some of the evaluation results on these 3 data sets. So we can see the model is outperforming the existing state-of-the-art in generating the captions of remote sensing images. The same is for UCM data set and Sydney data set. We also compared our model with its ablated version. We started stripping off the proposed modules that were part of our model, and then started generating caption using the just plain VGG16 and transformer, and then slowly and gradually plugging in the modules that we have proposed. And you can see that the incorporation of the proposed model has significantly improved the performance of the model. Next. Now, image retrieval is just one of the applications for remote sensing image description. These models will be used for accurately describing the battlefield, since we know that we have a paucity of bandwidth available at the field level. So instead of transforming raw images from the battlefield, you can convert that image to its equivalent textual description and start transmitting the textual details back to the command centers. Next. The same can also be used in disaster monitoring, since we know that the communication is disrupted when a disaster is hit. So these models can be used to send textual description of what's happening at the disaster hit site. For example, if there is an earthquake, you can use these models to start sending that the buildings have been demolished, or the landslide has occurred, or some other disaster has occurred over there, or flooding is there. Then we can also use these models for automatic extraction of event details from the ISR videos. We can summarize them and then send them across and keep them in a textual way. Then there are also some general public applications. Next. These models can be used with assistive technologies. So visually impaired person can hang a small smartphone that is hanging in his neck, and that smartphone can start converting the scene that person is seeing, and then transcribing that in his ears, that what is visible in front of him. Next. These can also be used for video summarization. These can also be used for alternate text generation, so we can convert, or we can load the textual description of an image instead of the actual image to reduce the transmission time. Autonomous driving systems are also using these models to describe the scene for the autonomous vehicles. And these can also be used for medical report generations automatically. So coming over to the challenges that we are facing now and what we are working on is that military applications are quite unique and the data set is quite unique. So we are gradually building our own data set that's pertinent to the military imagery and military ISR and drone videos. And using those videos, we are training our model to generate accurate description for the military specific use cases. Thank you very much.
I hope you all enjoyed the presentations. This concludes the 6 presenters. And since we did not have time for direct question answers after each presentation, the next thing in line is to have questions from the audience, preferably because they've already, dealt with a lot of questions from my side in the 2 stages that they've passed through already. So let me dedicate the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes to question and answers, especially from, I think, the users who can best, tell about how useful each of the technology is. So the floor is open for questions. Yes, please, if we can have a mic on that side.
Sir, I'm Captain Mohammed Hussain from Pakistan Navy. My question is regarding first 2 topics. 2 questions and 2 comments. The first one is the gun barrel defects. As the speaker has mentioned, it's a very complex phenomena to detect the problem and then classifying it, then analyzing it. Even we need very experienced human and very intelligent humans to detect those problems. My question is, what is the special in your automated model that even surpasses that human experience and human intelligence? And things do not stop here. Many of the problems inside the gun barrels, they are not even visually detectable. They need some special entity techniques to be initially detected. So do you have any plan to attach some of the entity tools with your device so that you can pre-detect the problem before it creates the disasters? The second question is with respect to the FOD. FOD is again a very complex problem because it has so many variables, and it's a very important topic because annually, in accordance with one of the estimates, the aviation industry experiences losses of about $4 billion because of the FOD problem. Now, this problem is again very complex because there's so many variables involved, and if those variables are not addressed in the automated system, then there are false alarms, and false alarms in that FOD system are again very something very undesirable. And the problem with the fixed camera-based system is that there are more false alarms. The latest research shows that the people are now moving to the monitoring of the airports, the runway, based on the UAV-based camera monitoring system, because UAV has the ability to fly low and slow on the runway, and it's a better place to detect such problems. Thank you.
So thank you for the questions, and let's get the first speaker to answer first. Kana sir.
Sir, you have very rightly pointed out that detecting faults in barrels, specifically with regard to tanks and artillery guns, it is a very challenging task, and it requires highest level of expertise. And just an idea, general idea, I'm sure that happens in your case too. In case of Pakistan Army, these gauges are available with ITD and some base workshops. And what happens whenever some fault occurs at some remote location in some field area, a team from these establishments visits that particular area for investigation of that fault. And what we have done is that we have made this complete process independent of skill level. Now, if you have that gauge, you just put this gauge inside the barrel, it automatically performs complete scanning and creates a complete report regarding the faults. Those faults which earlier you will be requiring some human expert. Now everything is being done through this AI. algorithm that we have involved in it. And of course, you rightly pointed out it is an ongoing process. There are a number of new flaws, number of new things which are coming up, and AI is the solution to all those things. You train your AI algorithm and it will give you the desired performance. And moreover, it also makes this complete process independent of human mistake, human errors. Whatever expert you involve in whatever field, it is always liable to errors. This AI, it replaces all those things, and the accuracy, the dependency, it increases. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you. And Scott Javed.
Thank you for your question. Actually, you have rightly pointed out that FOD detection is a complicated problem because FODs are small objects, and we have a deliberate FOD prevention program on all the airports and airfields. However, the world first realized why automated FOD detection is important is that after Concorde crash, that happened because the aircraft that took off 5 minutes before dropped a metal. Humanly, it is not possible to do inspections within 5 minutes for a complete runway. So after that, within 10 years, we developed commercially, globally, 4 automated systems were developed. And this technology was installed around 2012 to 2013, and it has not been 10 years after its installation. So it is right now at only 15 airports of the world, commercial systems, which are automated. And there have been tests in which they have compared the accuracy of how well a human can detect an FOD and how well an automated system is detecting. So it is if a human detects 23 FODs in an year, the automated system is capable to detect 75. So because it is continuously monitoring, it can also work in adverse weather, hybrid technologies mainly, because human vision is also limited in adverse weather. Similarly, for your second point, that is a UAV-based method, those are still in the research phase. There is no commercially deployed UAV-based method. One reason could be that UAV can itself become a source of debris. So that is why it is not safe to fly UAV over your runway to inspect. As a contrast, fixed camera along runway are installed after verifying a certain distance to keep aviation operations safe. I hope I answer your question.
Okay, I hope these questions are answered. And I think Dr. Jawad wants to ask, oh, there's a question from the lady first. Let's take a question from the lady first. Can we? Dr. Jawad, you're next.
It's open. Can you hear me? Okay. First of all, congratulations for holding a very informative session. I came late because I was going around finding my way and all roads were blocked. I'm Senator Rukhsana Zubairi. I'm an engineer by profession. But before doing my engineering, I went to the recruitment center of armed forces and I wanted to fly. And they said, no, no, you cannot. And then I told the gentleman there, I said, well, you're denying me, but one day you're going to, and I'm happy to see Javeria sitting there. Feel proud of you. My question is to Dr. Adnanul Hassan. You did mention about media monitoring, etc. How can I represent a political party in the Senate, and I represent technocrats of Sindh in Senate. How can we be benefited? We are doing the same job. We do get data. We do collect data, whatever is coming on social media and all. But an integrated solution will really help. Thank you.
Should I proceed? Okay. Thank you very much for your question. Yeah, definitely the technology is not limited to defense-related topics only. What we are basically doing is to extract information in the form of faces, text, and speech, right? So if it is on YouTube, or if it is on Twitter, if it is a news article, or if it is on TV channels, right? So whatever is appearing in the media, we can extract that information, and based on end users' requirement. So for example, one use case could be to detect or estimate the screen time or air time of, for example, a political leader or a political party. So whatever air time is you are getting, you can do that with that technology. Could be other applications like I'm just thinking on top of my head. So there could be something like how many times a certain person is appearing, and for example, you might not be paying for the appearance, but for paid advertisement and for multinational companies, they want to audit what they are spending. So a use case could be to estimate the timing for which they are paying, right? So these are the some of the use cases that just pop up right now. So, but yeah, the use case that can be leveraged from the extraction of the data, they are endless. So whatever you can think of, probably it can be solved. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Dr. Jawad.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum, and I must appreciate all the speakers. They have done a remarkable job. I've got like two questions. My first question is with the FOD detection. I understand that it's a very important problem, and I believe that the problem of FOD detection will also depend on the size of the aircraft. So if there is an object which is not which is actually on the runway, but it's actually on the side of the runway, and it's not, there is no chance of an aircraft hitting that object, then it should be safe. So is your model considering the size of the object at the moment while detecting the FOD? So if there's a small fokker, then it has a less chance of getting an FOD as compared to a Boeing, right? So this is one problem. The second question is with the this like action system. This is a good work, but I just want to highlight that there is a most recent model from OpenAI which is using generative AI to generate captions. So how good is your system as compared to the most recent model from OpenAI and GPT-3, etc.? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, regarding your first question, that is, if an object is lying anywhere near runway and is not on the runway, would my model will be able to detect it?
No, actually not. It's actually on the runway, but there is no chance of hitting it with the plane because the plane is small and it will go through. So
actually, sir, the concept of foreign object debris is that it does not hit the plane, it gets sucked by the plane, and it can cause damage to engine or tires. If it causes damage, otherwise it will burst the tire or rupture the tire. It is not going to hit the plane in any case, but if the main factors are speed and suction power. For example, if an aircraft is at more speed, then it will be affected more by FOD. The size of the aircraft does not matter much because a fighter is more prone to FOD than a Boeing, although there is a lot of size difference. So, sir, FOD concept is that the air gets sucked to engine, and a small 2.5 inch or 0.5 inch FOD can damage an entire engine. And sir, the second thing is that my model is able to detect an FOD as small as 0.5 to 0.75 inches on the runway. Sir, I hope I answered the question.
Yes, I think it does, but just want to ask that if the size does not matter, then perhaps I guess the model of the aircraft actually impacts. And if that happens, then...
Sir, type of aircraft does, because like I said, for passenger or the military airplanes fly at higher speeds. They are designed to burst they are designed to burn fuel, and they have greater suction. But a Boeing aircraft or a passenger aircraft is at a relatively lesser risk, but it is again at risk. So the kind of aircraft matters more, and the function of the aircraft, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a question from the Air Force gentleman.
I'm Splendid Dr. Nayyar from CA Risalpur. My question is from Lieutenant Colonel Usman, sir, regarding image captioning. I believe that unlike classification problems, the solution space for captions is not discrete. And you give an image to n different people, and it's no wonder you would get 10 n different captions for the same image. So that brings to a challenge of validation and evaluation of your generated captions. As of now, except SPICE, we do not have any, captioning metrics. What do you think is the solution to this issue? And secondly, sir, my question is regarding when you evaluate your captions, we borrow metrics from NLP side. But those metrics are evaluating generated caption against the ground truth caption. How do you capture the relevance with the visual data? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I would like to answer Dr. Jawad's question first. So, sir, you are very right that GPT-3 models are currently state of the art as far as many AI-related tasks related to NLP are concerned. But over here, the problem that we were addressing is specifically related to the remote images. So these models are obviously trained on natural scene images. They are doing really good on natural scene images, but our specific domain was based on the remote sensing images, which are very less. You will find a very less data set. As you see, the largest data set available for remote sensing images is RSICD, that has only 10,000 images. While for natural scene images, MS COCO is the largest set with 1,23,000 images. So the challenge over here is to have a model that is able to generate description for remote sensing images, not the natural scene images. But definitely GPT-3 model, once fine-tuned on the same task, and might perform, give a better performance as well. Sir, coming over to your question, definitely, sir, you are right that we borrow the evaluation from the NLP task, and the performance of the model or the performance of the whole evaluation phase is actually cognizant on the quality of the caption in the ground truth that you had. So that's why, as I mentioned in my future work, that for military applications, since we have a very peculiar description regime in our in the way that we describe what is important in an image, not a journal person who has captioned an image. So that will still remain a big challenge, that you have to correlate or you have to identify what is the significant objects that you are focused on, and you can fine-tune your model based on those captions. So it's a continuous process. Your model has to continuously learn based on what you are trying to extract from that image. So the transfer learning or the reinforcement learning regimes come into play, where we have to continuously evolve our data sets, continuously keep our model learning on new changes that we want to incorporate in our data sets, sir. So I hope I have answered your question, sir.
So thank you very much. And unfortunately, we have exceeded the time for the question and answers. We have to stop here, but it's great to see the interest from the audience. And please continue, barging them with questions during the tea session afterwards. So, to the moderator.
Thank you, Dr. Yasir Ayaz, and our esteemed speakers for indeed an interesting and an engaging session today. Thank you once again, our worthy Chief Guest, Mr. Israr Tareen, Federal Minister of Defense Production, for gracing the seminar. We are truly honored to have you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, after detailed and in-depth tier-wise elimination rounds out of 143 researchers and projects, these 6 projects were shortlisted that were presented today right in front of you on International IDEAS Seminar 2022. The speakers of these shortlisted presentations who are here with us on the stage, the first speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Ghulam Murtaza. The second speaker was Squadron Leader Javeria Farooq. The third speaker was Dr. Waleed bin Shahid, Major On Safdar, Dr. Adnanul Hassan, Lieutenant Colonel Usman Zia. I also want to inform you that I have received the result of the competition which was conducted by DEPO in collaboration with National Center for Artificial Intelligence. which will be announced shortly, and it was after due deliberation of the experts of AI that the results were compiled. I would also like to request our worthy chief guest to come to the podium and for the welcome address, for the welcome remarks.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. DGC 4I, Major General Syed Ali Raza, distinguished guests, Additional Secretary DP Major General Ehsan Ali, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. I feel privileged to be here with the selected few academia and research organizations who have been shortlisted through an elaborated evaluation process to present their research and thought-provoking papers on the most relevant topic of current times, that is artificial intelligence in defense market, a paradigm shift in the military strategy and national security. The first day of seminar was devoted to foreign and local experts in the field of highlight various aspects of artificial intelligence in defense and 5G centric warfare. I am sure it must have been productive for all participants. It is very encouraging that in continuation of same, the papers or presentations that we saw today were highly thought-provoking and interesting, with artificial intelligence-based solutions to some real-life problems. I am extremely pleased to see that Pakistan is moving at par with rest of the world in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning and smart automation. The academia always plays an important role in development of a country across the globe. Individuals that seek to tackle academic, business, social challenges with the support of artificial intelligence technologies are being recruited by universities and scientific institutions. I must appreciate our professionals, universities and institutions that are working day and night to produce a talent which can bring a revolutionary change in the development of Pakistan. Pakistan is blessed to have very talented youth. If guided well and provided opportunities, our youth can help us in achieving our goals way before we have anticipated. The Presidential Initiative for Artificial Intelligence and Computing was launched in 2018 to uplift the potential for our youth in field of artificial intelligence. With the mission to reshape Pakistan's education, research and business by adopting all exploiting latest cutting-edge technologies. We want Pakistan to become a global hub for artificial intelligence, data sciences, cloud native computing, edge computing, blockchain, augmented reality and Internet of Things. The introduction of artificial intelligence and 5G has totally changed the whole dynamics of modern day battlefield. I am certain that this platform has augmented the understanding of participants on the contemporary topics. I once again would like to thank and congratulate all speakers, especially those who have won the distinctions for such a wonderful exchange of ideas in this seminar. I would also like to extend my gratitude and thanks to the organization committee for the arranging such a wonderful event in befitting manner. I wish you all very prosperous and productive careers ahead. Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you so much, sir. So now for the most important part of the seminar, I would like to apprise you that we have consolation prizes, second prize and first prize. I would like to request our worthy chief guest, Mr. Israr Tareen, Federal Minister of Defense Production, to be in front of the stage along with Major General Syed Ali Raza, Director General, C4I Directorate, to accompany our chief guest for prize distribution ceremony. The first consolation prize goes to Squadron Leader Javeria Farooq from College of Aeronautical Engineering on topic an efficient AI-based approach for foreign object debris detection using domain randomization. The third consolation prize goes to Lieutenant Colonel Usman Zia from Military College of Signals for transforming remote sensing image to textual descriptions using AI. Fourth consolation prize goes to Dr. Adnanul Hassan from National Center for Artificial Intelligence for Smart Media Monitoring and Analytics System for Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, the second prize for the Artificial Intelligence competition goes to Dr. Waleed bin Shahid from Military College of Signals for a cascaded SaaS-enabled ensemble framework for detecting web application attacks. Now I would request Director General C4I Directorate to kindly present the memento to the Chief Guest.